I could hear the low thrum of the engine vibrating through my bones, a constant reminder that time was a relentless tide pulling me under, every second heavier than the last. The bridge of the asterisk helix asterisk, bathed in the cold glow of holographic displays, felt more like a cage than a command center, especially as I stared down at the holographic readout of our trajectory. My heart raced, not just from the day streaming past my eyes, but from the knowledge that I had just 20 minutes to make a decision that could very well mean the difference between life and death. "Are you insane?" Denya's voice cut through the whir of machinery, tinged with that familiar mix of disbelief and fear. She leaned over the display, her dark eyes narrowed into slits. "You really think you can reverse the polarity of the ion flux and nullify the Hycrest's energy signature? They'll scramble us back to the Dark Ages before you can even complete the calculations." "Maybe that's what we need," I retorted, my frustration creeping into my tone. "We've been running from them for too long. What's the point of our existence if all we do is run?" "We have a point," she shot back, crossing her arms, "the camaraderie we once shared now under siege by the gravity of our situation. And it isn't reckless suicide. You can't just throw caution to the solar winds, Mark." I ran a hand through my hair, my thoughts racing faster than the ship. Denya was right, of course, but the weight of the Hycrest cruisers looming closer felt like a dark cloud threatening to swallow us whole. Every ounce of me wanted to protect my crew, my friends, but ever since we'd intercepted that transmission from the consortium, the very nature of our existence had changed. We weren't just deserters anymore. We were living whispers of a forbidden secret, a fading hope in a galaxy of despair. The console flickered, storing the information I was about to pour my heart into. I took a deep breath. I had to focus. This wasn't just a theoretical gamble. It was our only hope. The faded scars of our past lives were still fresh in my mind. "Listen," I finally said, looking Denya squarely in the eyes, "if we can't outsmart them, if we can't master the impossible, we might as well give up right now, and I refuse to do that." As her resolve softened, I could see the flicker of understanding dance across her features. She knew the stakes. She had lost too much, just as I had. We were neck deep in the ruins of our own choices, a people caught in a never-ending spiral of survival and desperation. The Hycrest were relentless. They saw us as fugitives, a failed experiment to be eradicated, but they were underestimating human tenacity. "Okay, Mark," she said, the edge in her voice dissolving into reluctant agreement. "Let's say I support your crazy plan. We need to run the simulations to ensure we don't get ripped apart in the process. If we're going to pull this off, we need damage control, not just theory." Nodding, I flicked through the layered interface, setting calculations in motion. In the corners of my mind, I could feel the ghosts of our former selves lurking, remnants of humanity we had lost along the way. They were the voices that reminded me that every choice carried a weight of its own. The ship jolted violently, throwing me against the console. Alarms erupted, drowning out my frantic thoughts as I fought to regain my footing. My heart pounded, adrenaline rushing through me as I scrambled back to my station. "Mark, they've locked onto us," Denya shouted, panic creeping into her voice. The asterisk helix asterisk shuddered again, and the lights flickered ominously as warning sirens blared around us. "Try to recalibrate the shields, divert power from—" I began, but my words were cut short as the first shot from a Hycrest cruiser rocked the ship again, sending me sprawling onto the metal floor. "We have to move," Denya yelled, reaching for the emergency thrusters. "We can't let them trap us." With a throbbing head and a heartbeat that thundered in my ears, I staggered up and dashed toward the pilot's seat. Each step fueled by the fire in my gut, the knowledge that our future hinged on this moment. I had to tap into every shred of ingenuity humanity had gifted me. As I strapped myself into the seat, I glanced at Denya, who was already dancing her fingers across the control panel, initiating evasive maneuvers. The ship jerked harder as she twisted the helm, and I felt a surge of gratitude mixed with fear. We were fighting against the odds, and in battle, every choice mattered. Their next shot landed within inches of the hull, setting off a cascade of alarms through the ship as a shrill warning echoed in my ears. I barely registered the searing pain in my shoulder as I turned back to my console, frantically inputting the data for the ion flux override. "Mark," Denya called, her voice steady and urgent. "Get ready to boost the thrusters." On my mark, a web of apprehension tangled in my mind, but I sealed it away. The stars outside blurred in streaks of light as I focused. We had to escape this shackle, this impending annihilation. We had to become what we were meant to be, the species that masters the impossible. And now, Denya shouted. I punched the controls, and the *helix* lurched forward, the thrusters blazing to life in a defiant burst of energy. If we were going to outrun our ghosts, we needed to redefine them. And as the first rays of stellar energy wrapped around us, illuminating not just the ship, but the dark journey ahead, I could almost believe it was possible, that maybe, just maybe, the impossible was ours to seize. We surged away from the high-crest cruisers, the ship vibrating with the effort of its thrusters as Denya navigated through the chaos. I could feel the heat of their weaponry behind us, close enough that every blast sent jolts of fear straight to my gut. The darkness of space passed like a shadow, punctuated by swirling clouds of unfamiliar gases and glittering cosmic debris. I gripped the console, my fingers digging into the metal, breath coming fast as we maintained our evasive maneuvers. "We are getting a burst of energy readings ahead, hold on," Denya called, her voice firm despite the daunting situation. The *helix* bucked under the strain, and another barrage from the high crest sent the ship careening sideways. "Adjust the shields to compensate for depth fluctuation," I commanded, my heart racing even faster. "They've got a lock on us, Denya. We need to do something radical." Denya met my eyes, her dark hair plastered to her forehead, each line of tension carving deeper into her face. "You want radical? Let's jump into the nebulized rift." "The rift? You're joking." I felt the world momentarily tilt. The nebulized rift was infamous, a swirling maelstrom of gravitational forces that swallowed ships whole. No one who had ventured into its depths had ever returned. "They're closing in. It's either that or we become target practice." It was a hard choice, a fork in the road that begged the question. Who were we willing to become to survive? I weighed my options as we nearly grazed a massive asteroid chunk. After a heartbeat of uncertainty, I nodded. "Set the course." As Denya adjusted the trajectory, my mind was filled with the implications of our decision. The consortium and their iron grip on the stars had shadowed our existence long enough. But if we were going to break free, we had to embrace the chaos. And it seemed that chaos was about to swallow us whole. The ragged edges of the rift loomed before us, a gaping maw swirling with iridescent light and jagged shadows. It seemed both inviting and forbidding, a siren song that called for all lost souls. "Brace for it," Denya shouted. The *helix* screamed as we plunged into the depths. The ship shuddered violently, lights flickering, alarms blaring as we spiraled into the unknown. All around us, the space distorted. What was up blurred into down, sound disappeared, and the outside reality fractured. The ship roiled with energy, a testament to our decision. Inside the rift, uncertainty morphed into surreal beauty. It was nothing like I had imagined. Instead of horror, there were colors that bled into each other, a shifting expanse of light and darkness. It was as if the universe itself painted its own bloodlines. I turned to Denya, her face illuminated by pulsing hues, the expression caught between awe and terror. "How long can we stay in here?" I asked, unease gnawing at my throat. "Depends on the thermal dynamics of the rift," she replied, her fingers flying over the controls. "If we can tap into the energy surges, we might just be able to ride it out." But as she spoke, the surroundings distorted violently again, catching us off guard. I had no idea how much time had passed or where we were in relation to the high crest or the rest of the universe. "Systems are unstable," I shouted over the howling aura, grappling to keep steady. Let's focus on repurposing the energy we absorbed. We need a plan, way ahead of you. Denya responded, her determination crystallizing as she nodded toward a console blinking with erratic green signals. We can amplify the core displacement using the rift's energy. It's risky, but if we stabilize it, then we may be able to jump out of here and get back a few light years, I offered, hope threading through my urgency. I watched her transform data into reality, her fingers dancing over circuits like a wizard conjuring spells. She was brilliant, each movement fluid, calculated. For a moment, the chaos faded, and I felt an intense surge of respect for her strategic mind. Mark, she interrupted, glancing at me. If we proceed with this plan, it'll require all the power we have and will leave us vulnerable. It'll almost wipe our systems. Do you trust that we can hold off the Hycrest after this? A twinge of regret flickered in my chest as I considered the countless lives we would leave behind in the bridge of decisions. If we don't do this, we won't live to see anything beyond the rift. I held her gaze, trying to convey a conviction I didn't fully possess. Just say the word. Let's do it. **** moments stretched into eternity as we pushed the *helix* to its limits. Each second a breathless heartbeat. Lights surged and flickered around us, the pirate whispers of hope braiding through despair. On 3, 1, 2, before Denya could utter the final count, the ship lurched. A violent jolt, sending us both colliding against our consoles. The lights flickered ominously, alarms blaring warnings as I struggled to regain focus. Status report, I cried, glancing at the console and seeing the flashing error messages, the grim echo of malfunction all around us. The energy reserves are dropping. I need you to stabilize the flux, Denya shouted. She pointed to the raw cascade of light from the rift, pulling energy into our very mastery. Everything we had was now on the line. I reached for the stabilizer, mind racing with calculations I had only half formed just seconds earlier. Sweat dripped down my brow, each droplet encapsulating memories. The choices that led me to this moment, Denya, my crew, our harrowing past. And now, hit the energy core. The consoles erupted with power, and everything adjusted in concert light, momentum, the pulse of the universe exploding into clarity, just as we synchronized with the rift. With a colossal roar, a wave broadened and exploded from the *helix*, carrying us outward, bright streaks of violet shooting through the miasma of the rift. I felt it tugging, pulling, warping time and space itself around us. Hold on, I shouted. As if the universe answered our plight, reality snapped back into place. We shot through the outer layer of the rift, spiraling back into the cosmos. The chaotic energy and colors faded into the backdrop of starlit darkness. Breathless, we emerged from the rift into what should have been the familiar expanse of space. Yet before us lay a vast, haunting void littered with remnants of ships caught in forgotten battles. Metal twisted, echoes of silence nearly deafening, the echoes of lives once vibrant now reduced to fragments. Where are we? Denya rasped, her breath finally steadying. She still dialed the ship's energy core, correcting erratic cycles from our desperate maneuvering. A residual wave frequency, it's a high-intensity area, I muttered, my mind piecing together scattered data. The readings show remnants from the Consortium's war. There must be an archived war base nearby. We need to assess our options. If the Hycrest were trying to track us, they could follow the remnants back to this location. We had crawled out of the rift only to stumble into a historical graveyard. Denya turned to look at me, her eyes swirling with nerves, but a wildfire of determination beneath it. This was our chance to get resources, maybe even information. But do we dare take the risk? As our ship hovered over the wreckage, the shadows of bygone battles whispered stories of loss, echoing the conflicted emotions within us. Trust was a bond stretched thin under the weight of survival. Even as allies, the path ahead was fraught with peril. Whatever we do next, Denya, we need to stick together. We can't make the same mistakes that cost us everything. Then we dive in together, she replied, and in her voice I felt that spark of our old camaraderie return, lighting defiance against the shadows of uncertainty. With a cautious nod, I initiated the ship's descent toward the destruction. Together, we would unveil secrets buried in the rubble. Together, we would forge a new path through this chaos. As we neared the wreckage, something shimmered in the depths. A remnant of technology that had long since disappeared from our knowledge, its essence silently calling to us. "Do you see that?" Denya whispered, all lacing her voice. Yes, I agreed, the pull towards discovery stronger than the weight of trepidation. The hidden layers of our quest were waiting for us, ripe with possibility. And with that, we understood, in the heart of destruction lay the seeds of our future. We just needed to harvest them before the shadows could take us back into the depths from whence we came. The wreckage loomed larger as the *Helix* drifted cautiously toward the graveyard of ships, their twisted forms relics of ambitions long abandoned. Starlight shimmered off the surface, casting ghostly reflections against the hull of our ship. "There's definitely a signal coming from that wreck," Denya said, her fingers racing over the controls. "I can't pinpoint the source, but there's a frequency that feels alive." "Alive?" I echoed, intrigued but wary. "What do you mean?" As she made adjustments to the ship's scanners, her focus deepened, like a beacon. "It's fluctuating, but it's rhythmic, almost as if something is pulsing. It could be a distress signal or something more. Either way, it was dangerously enticing." "If it's a distress signal, we need to approach carefully," I cautioned, recalling the many traps we had stumbled into before. Past encounters had taught us that in the shadows of past conflicts, danger often lurked in the guise of vulnerability. "But if it's a trap," Denya mused, her brow furrowing, "then we'll just have to outsmart whoever said it." I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. "Let's find out what's there, then. Prepare an analysis of the signal and get me a visual on what we can see." With practiced precision, Denya maneuvered the ship closer, and the pulsing light grew brighter, a beacon of mystery amidst the darkness that had haunted our journey. I studied the surrounding wreckage. Visual records told tales of failed dreams and forgotten alliances, each husk of metal carrying echoes of voices that had once roared through the cosmos. They had all fought their battles, yet somehow we emerged, a feeble remnant of what once was. As the readings began to filter through, my heart raced. The signal is definitely coming from a larger vessel. The Dawnbringer*, a research ship, Denya announced, her eyes wide with realization. Or at least what's left of it. We have to get inside. "Are you suggesting we board a derelict ship with unknown hazards?" I replied, half, joking to mask my discomfort. But underneath that light banter, I felt a gnawing apprehension. We were stepping into the unknown. "We need answers, Mark." Her determination flared, igniting the remnants of our shared purpose. I hesitated, contemplating the weight of her words. "All right, we'll review the structural integrity before docking. If it's defensible, we might find what we're looking for." The ***, as we scanned for optimal landing coordinates, the **Helix* settled into position near the *Dawnbringer*'s open flanks, its hull marred with scars of battle, debris clinging like memories refusing to fade. I felt the chill sweep through the cabin. "A secondary airlock is still functional," Denya reported as she initiated the docking sequence. With wires and creaks, the *Helix* connected with the ship, and the airlock hissed with the release of icy breath. "Let's stay close. The moment we step outside the ship, we could be facing anything," I instructed, pulling on my tactical gear, a heavy weight amidst the adrenaline. ****, the air was stale as we stepped into the Dawnbringer**. Shadows danced in the flickering lights, remnants of systems that faded with time. "This place feels like a tomb," I mumbled, eyeing the corridor that grew darker with every step we took. "Just think, this ship could hold the keys to the Consortium's actions. It could change everything." Denya's optimism tried to push through the shadows, the thrill of discovery igniting in her bright eyes. Her excitement was soothing, anchoring us in the midst of the encroaching uncertainty. "Let's check the bridge first," I suggested. As we navigated through narrow passageways, I held my breath, half expecting anything, to emerge from the shadows, remnants of life or the terrifying silence of everything lost. As we reached the bridge, a low hum echoed through the chambers, vibrating against the walls like a heart still pulsing after death. I took a cautious step into the brightly lit control room. Panels blinked with faded holographic displays, a slanted view of the stars beyond. Perhaps even a glimpse of our past lives before the cosmos turned against us. "Edenya, look at this," I called, pointing to a central console still active, a holographic interface spinning in erratic blips of light, ghost images of incomplete logs swirling in the air. "What do you make of it?" Denya rushed over, her keen eyes scrutinizing the information. "These are—" Her voice softened, and I leaned in closer. "Encrypted files." The urgency infused her tone as she began decrypting the data that pulsed violently off the console. "If I can access one of these files, it might give us insights into their operations or weaknesses." "Do it," I urged, the stakes suddenly apparent. We needed answers. We needed to understand the machinations of the consortium before they crushed what little tenacity remained in our souls. As she typed frantically, the ship trembled again, vibrations echoing through the bridge like distant thunder. "Something's destabilizing. We don't have much time left." Denya gritted her teeth, intensifying her efforts to unravel the code. I surveyed the room, hyper-aware that we were hidden in a graveyard of dust and silence. Yet the specter of danger lurked too close. It felt like an electric current coursing through the air. "I'm almost through," she exclaimed as data began to pour into existence. Lines of text spiraled out of the holographic display, and I could see remnants of the consortium's plans unfolding before us like dark petals of a dying flower. "There's something here about a project vortex," she murmured, her face paling as she dissected the information. "It's an advanced weaponization program designed to manipulate gravity and energy on a massive scale. They've been testing it without oversight. Here it says they were looking for sources of dark energy within the rift." My heart raced. The connection was chilling, and that means they know how to control the rift itself, the very thing we just escaped. Denya's fingers froze, realization dawning. "Or not just control it, they were trying to use it as a power source. If that's the case, it's possible they could weaponize it against us." Asterisk, 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 it fell upon us like a weight, a mountain pressing down our hopes, half-formed dreams and aspirations now tangled in a terrifying reality. Questions spiraled like unsolved equations in my mind. The line between friend and foe blurred, and uncertainty gnawed at our souls. How could the consortium wield this power? I looked at Denya, whose eyes mirrored my fears. This wasn't simply a matter of survival anymore. It was an all-encompassing battle for existence itself. "What now? We need a plan of action," I said, swallowing the lump in my throat. "If we leave now, we've won nothing. If we can disrupt their efforts or at least gather evidence, we could set our own fires. But it's risky," Denya replied. "Whatever we do next, they'll have measures in place to ensure their secrecy. If we're caught, then we'll do what we have to," I asserted fiercely. "We've come too far to shrink back now. We need to uncover what's left of their operations. They can't know we're here." Denya nodded, her resolve rekindling. In this storm of uncertainty, she had become a beacon for me, and I was determined to be the same for her. Asterisk, 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 we scoured the ship, piecing together remnants of shattered systems, seeking evidence along corridors littered with the detritus of long-forgotten missions. Each room explored felt like unearthing layers of history, echoes of laughter and despair inscribed within the walls. Yet in the back of my mind, I could feel the high crest breathing down our necks, the looming awareness heightening our every move. As we moved deeper into the bowels of the asterisk Dawnbringer, I felt an unforeseen connection to these shadows, a sense of shared struggles, lost hopes, and unfulfilled destinies. Here, we were not alone. We were surrounded by a long line of resilience echoing through the silence. "Mark, there's another console down here." Denya called from an adjoining room, her voice breaking through my thoughts. I followed her, the dim light illuminating her face as she scanned the control interface. This one appears more advanced, almost like a central hub for their experiments. As she interfaced with the console, my hand involuntarily reached for the pulse of energy still ringing in the ship. The air felt charged, electric with potential, as we worked together to uncover the secrets hidden here. The database illuminated a sprawling web of their research, and as the text poured onto the display, one particular data packet caught my eye, Project Pandora. "What's this?" I queried aloud. Denya turned, her brow furrowed in concentration. "It's a bioengineering project aimed at creating hybrid organisms capable of manipulating energy flows and destabilizing gravitational fields. Target locations for testing include the nebulized rift." The connection formed like an unyielding chain, a terrifying cycle of exploitation and innovation rooted in desperation. "We need to document everything," I said, urgency lacing my voice as I reached for the ship's recorder to capture the footage available. This could change everything. "If we can get proof back to the Lost Hughes Alliance," an ominous crack echoed down the corridor, slicing through the air like a knife. Tension erupted as Denya and I exchanged frantic glances. "Did you hear that?" I whispered. Her nod was subtle but heavy with fear. "Something's not right." "We need to go." Quickly, we sped down the hallway, navigating the fading lights, but the echo of approaching footsteps surged like a tide. The sounds grew closer with every step, punctuated by the trembling breaths in my chest. "We need a way out," I exclaimed, searching for an alternative escape route. There was no doubt in my mind, we were no longer unseen intruders. Asterisk, 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 just as we reached the nearest airlock, a shout echoed through the passageway behind us. "Hold it right there!" A stream of armed Hycris soldiers emerged from the shadows, hard, cold faces marked by the past, determined to hunt us down. There was no turning back now. We were cornered. Denya's eyes widened in shock, matching the reality drumming through my veins. "Go! We need to split up," I shouted, adrenaline pushing the words from my throat as survival instincts took hold. "You trust me?" she asked incredulously, her gaze unwavering. "We'll meet back at the ship." Before I could wait for her answer, I burst into a sprint toward the side corridor, dodging past the soldiers now scrambling to pursue us. I heard Denya's heels clattering against the metal plates as she chose a different path. The din of chaos echoed behind me, each step threatening my resolve. My breath became ragged as I burst into a room lined with storage its old crates filled with equipment and research. With little time to ponder, I grabbed a nearby piece of debris, ready to defend myself. The thudding footsteps drew nearer, breaths echoing like hounds on a hunt. "Find them," someone roared. "Do not let them escape." My heart pounded fiercely in my chest, a rapid tattoo of existence pressing against my ribs. I pressed myself against the wall, forced to embrace the fear for now, listening intently. The door swung open, light flooding the interior, and before I could think, I thrust myself out, a wild desperation fueling my movements. To my surprise, I emerged directly into the makeshift landing bay where the asterisk Helix asterisk was docked, its silhouette a sanctuary against the chaos behind me. But something clawed at my gut. The uncertainty of Denya's safety echoed in my mind while I rallied my strength. Asterisk, 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 I sprinted toward the ship, fighting against the fear bubbling to the surface. "Denya," I called, panic edging my voice as I desperately sought any sign of her. Each breath I drew felt heavier, pulling me down, dousing the fire of my optimism. Denya, in no answer other than the faint echo of clattering metal behind me. I reached the asterisk Helix asterisk, frantically tapping on the controls, trying to initiate a lockdown. Would she even make it back? My heart was a storm of uncertainty, swirling shadows enveloping my thoughts. Just as I began to manipulate the controls, the sound of boots stomped across the bay, a group of Hycris soldiers blocking my path. "You'll not escape this time," one of them sneered, weapon drawn. The time for secrecy was over. We were now pursued by hunters, resolute to reclaim their control. With no hesitation, panic surged into a lethal instinct. I lunged for the nearest weapon, a discarded plasma rifle, the body warm and weighty in my hands. A flash of fate ignited the air as blasters fired, chaos erupting around me that ignited every sense. I ducked and rolled, taking cover, relentless resolve igniting between fear and determination. "Edenya, where are you?" I shouted aloud, each word binding tighter to the heavy silence. Just then, I caught a glimpse of movement out of the corner of my eye. Denya burst into sight, breathless and wild. Determination sparkled in her gaze as she punched in sequences on her console. The ships locked down, get in now, our eyes locked, and for a fleeting moment the world narrowed to that familiar connection. The bond of seeking understanding within chaos. The soldiers advanced, fingers twitching near triggers, and Denya was wildly drawing the plasma rifle I had abandoned. "Go!" she urged as she fired back. "Get to the cockpit." With one last glance back at the chaos, I dove toward the hatch, heart racing as adrenaline fueled each frantic movement. I climbed in, locking the door behind me, plunging fingers into controls, setting energy levels into full throttle. "Let's get out of here," I shouted, scanning the systems for a readout on our status. Denya joined me, the determination in her eyes mixed with a hint of vulnerability, masking the evident fear we both carried in our hearts. "I've secured the autopilot, but we need to get clearance or they'll shoot us down." She yelled over the cacophony of alarms, fists steady, eyes focused. Outside, the world exploded into chaos as the Hycris tried to breach the asterisk helix, asterisk frantic signals rising steeply. "Hold them off," I shouted urgently, racing my hands across the control panel, redirecting energy, desperately trying to spool up the engine's thrusters. "We have to get out of here. Now, I'm working on it." Her fingers danced across the screen, sweat glistening as we fought against hell itself. "Just cover me." The ship trembled beneath us, our fragile connection to survival dangling in the balance. I grabbed my blaster, darting toward the viewport, heart pounding in time with the impending threat. Shadows danced in the bay as Hycris soldiers emerged, firing blaster bolts, each explosion rattling my bones. The world beneath felt slippery. Time now slowed into a heartbeat, narrowing to a single purpose: defend, protect, and escape. Asterisk, 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 engines are spooled. Get us moving, Denya shouted, the advancements of her tactical mind illuminating the direction as I took aim through the viewport. With a squeeze of the trigger, I felt power blossom through me, poised risk pushing me to the edge, one step closer to freedom. The closest soldier collapsed under the radiant scope of my blaster fire, and Denya echoed my resolve as she shot back into the fray. Outside, I could see the Hycris scrambling to breach our only means of escape. I fired again. Another shot found its mark, the Hycris crumbling back against the paneling. "Now, Denya," I yelled as she smashed the launch protocol. With the thrusters roaring to life, the ship lunged forward, shaking the metal beneath our feet. "Hold," she breathed, sweat glistening on her forehead. "Just hold." The asterisk helix asterisk surged, freedom laying just beyond reach. As the ship bucked beneath us, I felt the pulse of our futures entwined. The past of our existence chasing us with every bullet fired, yet the glimmer of hope igniting in the engine's roar. Asterisk, 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 we launched from the grasp of the asterisk Dawnbringer. Asterisk, breaking through the debris that had nearly ensnared us as the ship regained its control, diving back into space. For a breathless moment, we floated amid the chaos of stars, the haunting void luring us towards safety, and the suffocating weight of our recent choices hung heavy around us. "We're clear," I shouted, adrenaline still firing our limbs. Denya turned, eyes ablaze with intensity. "We need to chart a course for the nearest black market station. We'll find a way to lay low and regroup. And we need to get that date back to the Alliance before they find us," I added, catching my breath. "But Denya," I hesitated, "what if they already know? What if they come after us before we can leverage the data?" Denya's face hardened, reflecting the resolve beneath her fear. "Then we'll fight. We're not running anymore. We're armed with the truth and the fire that ignites change. We won't let fear define our existence any longer. Her voice echoed a promise, a battle cry as our destinies embraced the receding darkness. As the stars twisted in blurs of luminescence, I finally felt a shift in the cosmos, an awakening of possibilities, as we delved into the uncharted depths of conflict and clarity. The war was only just beginning, and as sparks ignited our hearts, we'd prepare ourselves for the impending storm raging from within. In that moment, the asterisk helix asterisk hurtled forward into the unknown, and we embodied an indelible truth. We would not go quietly into the darkness. We were alive, and for the first time in what felt like ages, I began to believe we would not only survive, but we would fight together. Together, we would reclaim our stories, one pulse against the void at a time. The asterisk helix asterisk sailed through the vast emptiness, the stars a breathtaking tapestry all around us. Yet the beauty of it couldn't mask the gravity of our situation. Denya and I settled into our roles as the ship hummed with life beneath our fingertips. The ship's systems word, processing vast amounts of data I had been painstakingly extracting from the asterisk Dawnbringer asterisk, revealing elements that implicated the consortium in a web of deceit, manipulation, and ambition gone awry. "Hold on," Denya said suddenly, scanning the emerging displays on her side of the cockpit. "We're not alone out here." I turned quickly, heart raced to a frenzied rhythm. "You see something?" She leaned closer to the console, fingers darting across the readouts, brows knit tight with concentration. "I'm picking up multiple ships on our scanners closer than I'd expected." I tensed. Could they be the Hycrest? The last thing we needed was to come face to face with the very hunters we had escaped. "No," Denya replied after a moment, her eyes narrowing as she continued to analyze the data. "These readings are different, shifting signatures. They are non-military vessels." As she fed the information into the analysis system, several faint images projected onto the main display ahead. I leaned closer. Rebel freighters. Could be, she speculated. But the patterns are unlike anything I've seen. It's almost erratic. I glanced at Denya, sensing her rising apprehension. Erratic how? Not consistent with what a standard crew would operate. They could be old, damaged, or more likely, being piloted by individuals who don't have formal training. This didn't bode well. The more desperate the people, the more chaotic their actions. "Let's hedge our bets. We're not in a position to pick a fight," I suggested. "You try to establish communication." Denya nodded, adjusting her controls and sending a frequency signal into the abyss. "This is the asterisk helix asterisk. Do you copy? We request a status update send response." Static returned as silence settled, heavy and oppressive, like a warning not to push further. Before we could exchange another cautious glance, a jittering response crackled through the comms. "The asterisk helix asterisk. This is Strike Force Echo. Who are you?" The voice sounded strained as if mirroring our earlier trepidation. "This is Captain Mark of the asterisk helix asterisk. We're not hostile. We've just escaped the consortium and are looking for safe passage." "They're hunting you," the voice shot back, urgency laced through each word. "We wouldn't be using a signal like this if they weren't." The line crackled once more. "Keep circling. We'll rendezvous shortly." "A rendezvous?" I asked, brows furrowing in skepticism. "What's the plan? Trust us." "We can help." Then silence blanketed the line, leaving behind a wavering sense of unease. "Great," I muttered, glancing over at Denya. "A rendezvous sounds a bit ominous." "Let's remain cautious," she agreed. "But if they're not with the Hycrest, we may need all the help we can get." I exhaled slowly, composing my thoughts in the wake of uncertainty. "Agreed. Keep the ship on stand. Bye." Denya worked at the controls, while I wrestled with the impending storm of possibility swirling in my chest. A sense of foreboding mingled with hope. All we needed was a break, one chance to change the tide. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Moments later, the distant outlines of vessels emerged from shadows. 3 shapes painted against the shimmering surface of stars flew toward us. They bore the signs of rough living scratches on hulls, mismatched components, and repair jobs on old vessels held together with more will than expertise. "They're here," Denya said, relaxing her grip on the helm slightly. "Initiate docking procedures." I helped her coordinate. The thrusters hummed obediently as the ships edged closer until they nestled in position beside us, and the docking clamps hissed into place. I traded glances with Denya, our breath steadying, a shared tension unraveling as the airlock slid open. It was time to confront the unknown. With one last glance to reassure each other, we braced ourselves and moved into the thrumming bay. A small team greeted us, 6 figures, battle, worn but alive, each one distinct in their appearance and aura. Their eyes were sharp, scanning us as if marking our worth through silent scrutiny. One of them stepped forward, a senior woman with close, cropped hair and a rugged demeanor, dressed in utilitarian gear that spoke of countless missions in the forgotten corners of the galaxy. "I'm Captain Ree," she announced, her voice commanding yet tempered with compassion. "Are you the ones who just escaped the Dawnbringer?" I exchanged an apprehensive glance with Denya. "We are," I replied cautiously, my heart pounding in my throat. "And you're the ones who contacted us." "Word travels fast," Ree replied, nodding. "The consortium has been desperate to keep up their operations. You're not the first to have insight into their projects, and we need help to expose what they're doing." "Expose," Denya repeated, her eyes widening slightly. "How extensive is this operation?" Ree cast a glance back toward her crew, tight-knit, all too aware of the layers of enemy lurking behind every shadow. "They've consolidated their power, but they are in a weakened state after the loss of significant ships. If you have intel from the Dawnbringer, we can strike where they don't expect." "You have the data," Denya pressed, urgency edging her voice. Ree nodded, stepping aside to reveal a makeshift command center within their ship. Maps and holographic displays not only covered the walls but showcased paths woven through the star clusters, hidden routes, broken corridors littered with past skirmishes, and locations of consortium strongholds shimmering with menacing potential. "Yes," she said, her voice rocky with conviction. "But we need to be quick. The Hycrest will come for you, and when they do, we'll need all hands on deck." "So, what's your plan?" I asked, letting curiosity replace caution as I approached the displays. "We hit their supply lines," she explained, illustrating a route that spiraled into enemy territory. "We can disrupt their communications and chaos will ensue. It'll give us a clear chance to gather more intel and strike where it stings most." I felt my stomach tumble at the weight of her words. She was suggesting we actively plunge ourselves into the heart of the consortium's operations. "And if things go south?" I asked, searching her eyes. "This could escalate quickly." "We've been preparing for this moment," Ree answered, her voice steady. "If we're going to free the galaxy from the consortium, we can't wait on the sidelines. We forge our destinies, and it's time we took a stand." My heart beat in sync with the passion in her words. There was truth in taking action, in harnessing the momentum we'd built, but it also stood on the razor's edge of recklessness. Denya watched me carefully, gauging my response as if weighing the choice before us. "You've dealt with the consortium before," she said, looking to Ree for confirmation. "What's your experience?" "We've survived, but not unscathed." "They'll always push back," Ree replied, her expression darkening. "But we can't hide any longer. You've seen what they're willing to sacrifice. The Dawnbringer, for instance." A silence fell heavy upon the group as I absorbed her words, the implications of our venture sinking in. "What do you think?" Denya asked softly, her gaze steady on me. I looked back at her, blending shared memories of battles too close for comfort with unyielding hope for a future unfurling before us. "If we do this, it has to be all in," I finally said, clenching my fists tightly by my sides. "No turning back." Denya nodded. "That's the only way it will work." "All right then," Ree declared, bringing us back to the task at hand. "We have ships, intel, and the numbers what we need is to bring it all together. Gather your things, brief your crew. We've got a fight ahead of us." Together, we stood on a precipice, poised between fear and victory, the storm on the horizon. As we readied ourselves to engage in a conflict that could define our fates, hope blossomed within the chaos, igniting a fire deep in our souls. It was time to forge alliances, reclaim what was lost, and strike with all we had. Asterisk asterisk, with Denya by my side, I vowed not just to survive, but to reshape the course of our destiny. Asterisk asterisk, we were no longer mere whispers in the night together. We were voices rising against the darkness. And as we embraced this next chapter, we forged a truth within ourselves. The time for change had come, and we were ready to battle the shadows together. The space around us pulsed with possibility, the gravity of our decisions hanging in the air like a thick fog. With the strike force assembling and plans coalescing, the urgency felt palpable, the kind that sent adrenaline coursing through our veins. Denya and I joined Ree in the makeshift command room aboard the rebel freighter they had taken to call their own. Asterisk, the Vanguard asterisk. The walls buzzed with tension, holographic displays illuminating the weary expressions of crew members assembled. They were a resilient band of castaways, united under the banner of rebellion, a flickering flame against the cold, oppressive darkness of the consortium. Ree motioned us closer to the central console that mapped out the important supply lines of the consortium within our reach. "Here," she said, pointing to a series of interlinked star systems marked with ominous red dots. "These are their primary supply routes, and we're looking at a convoy scheduled to pass through here within the next hour. If we intercept them, we can cripple their supply chain significantly." Denya leaned in, her brows furrowing with concentration as she studied the map. "If we hit them hard enough, we may even create a diversion strong enough to pull the Highcrest off our trail." I felt the weight of possibility hanging in the air. This was a crucial moment, a chance to disrupt a powerful enemy, but the risks outweighed the rewards in a dance of uncertainty. I exchanged a glance with Denya, a silent communication passing between us, a pact to see this through together no matter what. "How do you want to approach the convoy?" I asked, anxiety churning in my gut as I addressed Ree's team. "Stealth is our best shot," she replied decisively. "We'll split into two ships, asterisk. The Vanguard asterisk will follow the main route, while the asterisk Helix asterisk flanks the convoy from the side. We'll make our move just as they round the asteroid belt here." Her finger traced the path on the map, emphasizing the strategic importance of the formation. "As the convoy is distracted, we'll them lure into our nest." The room pulsed with the collective weight of anticipation. "And if they detect us," I pressed, "we'll be walking right into their guns." Ree's eyes locked onto mine with unwavering intensity. "That's a chance we have to take. With you and Denya on the asterisk Helix asterisk, I'm counting on you to act quickly. Take out their command ship first. If we can cut off their leadership, we have a better chance of holding chaos in our favor." My heart raced as I absorbed the plan. This was war. The delicate lace connecting the lives of everyone here tightened, each instinct begging for caution as we prepared to shift the balance of power. "Understood. We'll bring the fight to them." Denya's hand brushed against my arm, grounding me. "We can do this together," she whispered, her faith in us carrying more weight than mere words. Moments later, we were at our ships, prepping for the mission ahead. I stepped onto the deck of the asterisk Helix asterisk, everyone moving with urgency, but camaraderie brought an electric current through the crew. Each one was preparing for the unknown, adopting the courage forged through collective will. "Are you ready?" Denya asked, checking the status of the energy levels and ammunition supplies, her voice steady but laced with anticipation. "Ready as I'll ever be," I said, strapping into my pilot's seat and settling the grip of the controls in my palm. "Let's show them what we're capable of." As we launched from the freighter, the darkness of space enveloped us. Stars blinking in and out, tiny pinpricks of light puncturing the vast unknown, serving as a reminder that hope was still very much alive. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, the thrumming of the asterisk helix asterisk reverberated against my skin as Denya and I flew through the black void, racing toward the coordinates of the convoy. The anticipation pulsed between us, a lethal cocktail of fear and exhilaration coursing through our veins, drowning out all that had come before. "There they are," Denya called, pointing toward the blinking lights that punctured through the darkness ahead. The consortium convoy, heavily armed and tight-knit, resembling a swarm of predatory insects scuttling through the darkness of space. "It looks like we're in just the right spot," I said, adrenaline heightening as we lurked behind the contours of an asteroid belt, staying hidden from view, waiting for Rhee's signal. With the veil of the asteroids shrouding us, we were cloaked in the sanctuary of darkness, a place from which we could launch our assault without warning. "Stay low and at the edge of the asteroids until we initiate," Denya instructed, her voice low and steady. "Once we engage, it'll buy Rhee some time in the vanguard to draw their attention. We need to move before they realize what's happening." A moment of silence enveloped us as we both absorbed the gravity of our situation. I adjusted the power levels, feeling the ship thrumming like a living being, alive with anticipation. "They won't know what hit them. Just give me the signal," Denya said, her eyes glimmering with determination. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, the blaring calm of Rhee's voice broke through the chaos enveloping my mind. Asterisk helix asterisk, we're moving in. Get ready to launch. I exhaled sharply, thrusting the asterisk helix asterisk forward, allowing the gentle rock of the asteroids to cocoon us in their shadows. Backlit by starlight, the convoy glimmered as I flicked toggles, invoking the ship's weaponry systems. Every pulse felt electric as I embodied the ship, the fear of failure retreating, allowing purpose to blossom. "Now," Denya shouted, eyes gleaming with fierce intensity. I rocked hard on the throttle as we charged toward the chaos, the asterisk helix asterisk bursting forth with an unrelenting roar. A phoenix rising through the veil of darkness. Alarms erupted around us as turrets swiveled to lock onto our ship. "The enemy ships are confirming locks," Denya shouted, the adrenaline surging. "Get ready." Before I could respond, energy lanced from the convoy vessels, streaking through the void, fire trailing behind. I fought to stabilize the ship, nightclub colors strewn against the tapestry of stars. "We made it," Denya responded without question, her fingers dancing over the controls as she activated our shields, powering them up just as the first barrage blast thudded against our hull. The ship shook violently beneath us, rattled by the force of their fire. "A return fire, target the lead ship," I commanded, committing our ship to the moment. Denya aligned systems as blaster bolts erupted from our cannons, cutting through the darkness. The first volley scored a direct hit, sparks flying on the surface of their lead ship, sending a cascade of debris into the vacuum of space. "Direct hit," Denya yelled, excitement ebbing through her voice. As the lead ship began to lose stability, their supplies began spilling into the void. A flurry of chaos, and I felt a surge of victory thrumming through me, buoyed by the belief that we could dismantle their tightly knit operation. "Keep pushing," Denya urged, her eyes alive with the thrill of the battle. "That command ship isn't going to go down without a fight." Suddenly, the skies above erupted with a phosphorescent blast. Rhee and her crew had engaged, creating a dramatic distraction as explosions erupted across the convoy's ranks, sending a flurry of chaos to ensue. "Let's make this count," I yelled as our ship surged forward, plunging deeper into the fray, the reality of our needed victory shoving fear aside. I worked furiously at the controls while Denya fueled our weapons and shield systems. The asterisk helix asterisk danced through the beam fire, each ship focusing intently on mine, locked in a dizzying spiral of conflict. "A turret on your left," Denya shouted, and instinctively I swung the ship, narrowly escaping a direct hit, just as the turret unloaded scorching beams into the vacuum. "Hold on," I shouted, my heart pounding in rhythm with the asterisk helix asterisk. We swerved, thrusting through heated bursts of energy, the world outside slicing into a concert of colors, blues, reds, and shimmering flames. Then everything seemed to slow for a heartbeat, a stillness that twisted at the edges of my vision. Just moments before the next attack, I caught a glimpse at Denya, a raw determination shining in her eyes, defiance dancing in her spirit. With every pulse of fire exchanged, every dogfight twisting into electrifying chaos, my fate became intertwining threads of hope and fear, all focused around our shared desire for freedom. This was our moment, the culmination of our journey captured in the chaotic whirls of the fight above. Engaging again, I shouted, main pulse racing as I let loose while locking onto the command ship hovering farther back, marred with strikes and losses as Ree's crew began to gain on them. Keep targeting the leads. Ree's crew is in position, Denya affirmed, her spirit igniting mine even brighter. We can break their command. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, the asterisk helix asterisk soared through the clutches of chaos as Denya calculated our movements, elegantly intertwining our escapes with calculated strikes. In the corner of my vision, I could see the command ship falling under the pressure of the strike forces, slowly crumbling like dry sand under the relentless tide. Almost there, I yelled, determination flooding my every nerve. I pulled the asterisk helix asterisk tight, rocketing toward the command ship's vulnerable point, a shimmer of hope igniting within my chest. This is our shot. With our weapons charged and the fury of the fight pulling me toward the heart of action, I pulled the trigger. A bolt erupted into space, carving through the distance and engulfing the command ship once more. This time, it found its mark. The command ship erupted into a spectacular blaze, the vibrations thrumming through the asterisk helix asterisk. My heart raced as Denya shouted in victory, both our hearts aligning in beat with a joyous exclamation. Direct hit, she hollered, her gleeful laugh a melody through the tension shrouding us. Keep it coming, Ree, what's the damage? I called through the comms as our ship surged forward, ready to protect what remained of our newfound allies. Taking down the market line and gaining on their rear, Ree confirmed, the thrill of battle evident in her tone. We're pushing them further back. Keep up the onslaught. In the distance, chaos unfolded as the remaining ships began to falter under the pressure. Crews scrambling to regain control, the once unshakable chain started to unravel. The horizon sang louder with the roaring echoes of those who fought, and I could feel the tide shifting. Keep this up, and they'll send reinforcements, Denya warned amid the flutter of energy bolts burning through the darkness. We've got to finish this before they can recover. They won't let us go so easily. I nodded, swallowing my lingering fear and hammering on the weapon's controls again. All right, then let's not stop until we've carved a path. Push forward, the asterisk helix asterisk surged through the swarm, and in that moment, exhilaration eclipsed fatigue, every moment a paragon of our unyielding spirit. As we targeted their escape routes, it became evident that the tide had turned. The asterisk helix asterisk dove deeper into the fray, responding to Denya's calculated calls as she engineered our strikes, and I guided us boldly toward victory. The strength of our alliance rumbled through the ship like the heart of a dragon awakening from slumber. Two more ships are down, Denya shouted, laughter ringing through her voice. Our chances are good. The twinkling stars bore witness as we rode the crest of chaos, our hearts aligned in purpose. The bonds forged through shared struggle tightening, an unbreakable unity igniting our spirits as each strike intensified our commitment to victory. The remaining consortium fleet faltered under the assault, the battle swarming in glorious fervor, a maelstrom of brilliant light against the backdrop of the abyss. We swerved and dipped, weaving expertly amid fire, the ship and crew working as one. And now time to end this, I shouted as we prepared for another decisive strike. The time had come, and with one last wave of determination, we surged forward, our fate bound together as we carved a slice of liberation born from the chaos of the moment. Asterisk 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 in the aftermath of the battle, I felt time disassemble, the moment stretching into eternity as silence settled against the echo of distant explosions and fading alarms. The stars bore down on us like ancient sages, witnessing the shift against darkness as we navigated the stark reality of our victory. A status report. I barked as we descended through the fading chaos, adrenaline still thrumming beneath my skin. Taking in readings now, Denya replied, her fingers dancing across the panels as she searched for signs of damage and casualties. One by one, the news trickled in, the supply line broken, the command ship destroyed, the consortium pallet stripped bare. And yet, there was no time to celebrate. The Highcrest were known for relentless retribution. How are we holding up? I established communication with Asterisk, the Vanguard Asterisk, trading moments of tension lifted into the atmosphere. We caught her voice across the comms, the pride palpable in her tone. The casualties were minimal. We've lost one ship, but we pushed through the main supply line. They won't recover quickly from this setback. Good to hear, I said, relief flooding through that our alliance had endured through unity, hardship, and resilience. Denya leaned forward, her eyes sparkling as she held onto hope tightly. A flicker ignited within the darkness. What about the other ships? Did they get away? Ree's voice returned. We scattered them. They are in disarray, but the Highcrest will come for reinforcements, and we need to regroup quickly. There's no rest for the weary then, I muttered, the weight of our next steps settling heavily upon me. But we've dealt them a blow. Ree's voice took on a determined edge, echoing through the void. Gather your crew on the Asterisk Helix Asterisk. We need to meet back at the rendezvous point to evaluate our next moves and strategize how to handle the expected retaliation. Understood, I replied. We'll head back and regroup. As Denya and I shared a glance laced with fierce determination, the world beyond echoed our defiance. The Alliance forged in shadows, ready to face the next wave of darkness sweeping toward us. We would not stand idly by. We would rise as champions amidst the chaos, navigating our way amidst storms, ready to carve out paths of hope in an oppressive universe. With that thought guiding us, I piloted the Asterisk Helix Asterisk back through the void, chasing away remnants of uncertainty, and embraced the light emanating from a future unwritten. The war against the consortium was just beginning, but with every pulse of action fueled by hope, we were steel woven together, lights against the fierce shadow. Together we would fight, together we would thrive, and with Denya next to me, together, we would take the lead in steering our destinies toward a future unbound. The rendezvous point came into view, a desolate space station known as Leona's Maw, nestled among the jagged debris of a broken moon. Its once vibrant exterior lay dulled by the scars of previous skirmishes. Yet, as the Asterisk Helix Asterisk eased into the docking bay, the flicker of life buzzed just beneath the surface, an embattled but thriving refuge for those by the consortium's tyranny. Once we docked, and the ship's systems settled into a whispering hum, Denya and I shared a knowing look. Both of us were riding a tide of exhilaration and exhaustion that was overwhelming yet exhilarating. We had shattered the chains of expectation and broken through the limits of survival. But with a victory came the weight of responsibility, and the war was far from over. Let's get debriefed, I said, rising from my chair with a crack of my spine that echoed the tension in my muscles, seasoned by hours of combat. We need to rally everyone and regroup. Denya nodded, her expression steely. I want to check on Ree and the others first. Let's see what assessment they've made. As we exited the Asterisk Helix Asterisk, the familiar grip of chaos greeted us. Voices overlapping, bodies bustling with purpose, the air thick with determination. I could barely hold back the surge of adrenaline as it thrummed in time with the flickering lights of Leona's Maw. Navigating through the station's maze, like corridors, we found ourselves drawing closer to the command center, a haphazard mix of repurposed technology that had been scavenged from battles past. Ree stood at the head of the table, surrounded by the strike team as they pored over holographic displays showcasing the recent skirmish and projected enemy movements. Hey there, I said, drawing her attention as we stepped inside. What's the situation? Ree met my gaze, an exhausted yet victorious grin breaking across her face. We did good today, but we need to keep our momentum going. The consortium will regroup faster than we anticipated. If we don't capitalize on our advantage, they'll bounce back. Agree, Denya interjected, moving closer to the table. We need to cut off the high crest before they can mobilize. What's the intel say? Most reports suggest they'll scavenge for their wounded and send a distress signal to their allies. Ree replied, her fingers flying across the projection to pull up data. Our hit has left them fractured. Their main hold on resources has been compromised, but they still possess enough firepower to come back swinging. My heart sank as I reviewed the schematics. We need to push them harder while they're weak. Do we have any leads on other vessels that might assist our cause? Ree nodded, her voice steady yet fierce. We've been in contact with a few resistance cells who've been monitoring consortium movements. They're ready to assist if we can solidify their efforts. We can coordinate simultaneous attacks across multiple fronts. An electric pulse ignited within the room, a ripple of excitement flowing through the strike team. It was a glimmer of unity in a sea of turmoil, the rallying cry we'd been waiting for. Let's get them on board, I declared, adrenaline surging through me like a flame. If we can coordinate our strikes efficiently, we can take the fight to them and turn their own tactics against them. Denya stepped closer, conceiving plans alongside me. We'll send scout ships to maintain contact. If we can disrupt their communication lines during their rebuild, we can cripple them once and for all. Count me in, Ree said, her voice steely and resolved. But let's prepare our ships, get our allies in position. As we began delegating tasks, assigning teams to contacts we knew could assist us, a sense of purpose ignited in the air, fueled by determination and tenacity. I moved amongst the crew, instilling vigor and gathering energy into our mission, determined to shatter the dark hold of the consortium once and for all. Hours turned into frantic preparation. The quiet hum of the station morphed into a vibrant overture of determination as the crew capitalized on newly forged alliances. I could feel the palpable shift as the atmosphere rippled with purpose. Each presence in the command center pulsed, shaping into an unstoppable tide. Everyone's ready, Ree announced, scanning the crew's faces. We've established routes, our allies are in place, and we've even intercepted low-level consortium communications. It seems they're beginning to scavenge for any remnants of their previous operation. Perfect, I replied, gritting my teeth as I drew in a deep breath. This was our moment. We capitalize on that. First up is their eastern sector. Their hold on supplies there is at its weakest. If we hit them there, we can pivot our attack and lay waste to their assets. Denya exchanged glances with Ree, then leaned closer, urgency lighting her eyes. We need a strong distraction to pull their forces away from the eastern sector. If we can stir enough chaos, we can break through their front line with a smaller team. I can spearhead that distraction, Ree offered, her face fresh with resolve. But I'll need a few of my team to lead key diversions while we prepare for our attack. Count me in, I said quickly. I can lead the assault from the *Helix*. Denya, you'll ride with me. We'll dive in after Ree draws them away. Let's execute with precision, Denya added, her expression serious. We don't need reckless moves this time. If we operate strategically, we can flesh out their defenses. Then, when they're utterly confused, we strike. As we strategized over logistics and placements, I could feel the clock ticking against us. Every passing moment held a sense of anticipation that was almost suffocating. The thrill of what awaited us mixed with the sharp edge of fear. Get your team organized. I'll set up contact with our allies, Ree instructed. We have to ensure everyone is in sync once we initiate. We're in it together. I nodded, adrenaline propelling me forward as we retreated from the command center, each leader setting their focus on the chaotic puzzle awaiting us just beyond the walls of Leona's maw. Once we reboarded the *Helix*, the weight of our impending conflict settled around me like an old cloak. Denya and I slipped into the cockpit, the pulse of the ship humbling our resolve. Encouragement buzzed thickly in the air, a kaleidoscope of emotions as we prepared for the battle ahead. "It's now or never," Denya said, fingers poised over the controls. "We need to establish our route." "We'll flank from the left and keep tight on our shields," I directed, motioning for her to bring up the last readings from the convoy we had intercepted. "Let's make sure we pull through on getting the most from this effort." As she manipulated the controls, holographic displays projected the course we would take. A winding path through scattered asteroids that could serve, for a time, as natural cover. With every calculated decision and adjustment we made, the implications of our mission loomed larger. "Let's give them hell," I said, igniting the fire within myself with a determined shake of my hands, preparing for action. "They think they can crush our spirit. They'll underestimate our resolve like never before." Her gaze met mine, a flicker of fire igniting within. "Together, we'll make them regret underestimating us." And as we launched from the Maw's docking bay, space opened before us. A vast canvas inked with shadows reaching toward our fates. We would carve our names into this void, and in the echoes of our persistence, we would signal surrender for the consortium. **Castor, Ree's team initiated the diversions along multiple fronts, igniting chaos that sent shimmers throughout the vastness of space. Each targeted interference struck with precision, resembling a ripple that spread quickly through enemy sectors, drawing their focus and scattering their defenses. Before long, the Helix with Denya at the controls, dashed into the silence of the deep. Her heartbeat carried through the ship's hull as we ducked behind asteroids and navigated through the tumult of the chaos unfolding above. "Target acquired," Denya called, targeting reticles locking onto an enemy supply ship. "We can hit here without drawing their eyes too quickly. Let's take them by storm," I commanded as I strapped myself in, readying for our next move. Launching, Denya initiated our advance, and the Helix surged forward, escaping the cover of shadows as we exploded into the heart of the chaos. "Fire at will," I shouted, adrenaline melding into sheer excitement as turrets sprang to life, lancing toward the unsuspecting enemy vessels. The quick shards of plasma bolts lit the dark canvas around us, puncturing the veil of stillness. The expansion of our chaos mirrored the beautiful destruction we sought. "Let's see how they react to us," I added, exhilaration coursing through my veins, empowered with the knowledge that we were striking the heart of their supply chain. With every direct hit that found its mark, cheers erupted through the comms from our team. "The tide has shifted," as explosions erupted beautifully in the blackness, illuminating the void with hues of red and gold. A sense of something more transcended the moment, a symphony of resilience coiling around me. The urgency hung tightly in the air as systems word and alarms rang, carrying the ethos of our collective spirit. But as I reveled in our successes, an unease niggled at the edges of my consciousness. The last remnant of the consortium would not fall easily. The images from the control panel illuminated enemy ships regrouping, a shadow lurking behind the glittering lights that flared in celebration. "Denya," I said, cocking an eye at the displays, "there's something wrong. Their numbers seem to be reassembling faster than expected." "What's happening?" She bit her lip, a shadow crossing her face as she furrowed her brow. "They appear to be coordinating retreat signals and regrouping. They might be consolidating their forces for a counterattack. Ree needs to know," I said fiercely, the drive fueled by urgency. "We need to warn everyone now." "Good thinking," she agreed, sending a concentrated pulse through the comms system, a quiet seriousness lacing her tone. "Ree, what's your status?" Ree's voice crackled through, tinged with the fatigue of battle. "We're engaged and it looks chaotic. We've been intercepted on our flank. Forces are converging on us. Keep the pressure up." "Understood," I replied, heart pounding. "But be cautious, the consortium is regrouping and may be planning a counterattack. We have to keep up the assault, but watch our backs." "Copy that," Ree affirmed, her determination steadfast in the face of uncertainty. "We've got your 6. Keep pushing the diversion." As she signed off, I felt a renewed urgency pulsing through me. Denya, we need to move fast if we're going to sustain any momentum. Let's maximize our firepower and ensure we break through their lines, exploit their weaknesses. The shimmering chaos outside danced with fiery energy, blurring the lines between hope and desperation. Resituating for a broader angle, Denya shouted back, feverishly adapting the course. A brace for sustained fire patterns. We swerved just as an enemy ship shot past us, streaking against the backdrop of stars, narrowly escaping the barrage of fire trailing behind. I gripped the controls tightly as the *helix* responded, dancing between the strikes, zigzagging deftly while we maneuvered toward optimal targeting positions. All right, aim for their lead vessels. Let's divide and conquer, I shouted, feeling the electric pulse of battle resonate deeply in my core. With renewed focus, we engaged their line once more, the world around us exploding like a fever dream. A dance of life, light, and destruction as we surged forward. I had no doubts now. The pulse of our mission echoed fiercely against the vast unknown, and together we would emplace the path toward victory. But I didn't anticipate the depth of the storm brewing behind our efforts. As our own forces forged bravely into unknown territory, dark silhouettes shimmered amidst the chaos, revealing high-crest reinforcements lurking in the shadows. Denya, look! My heart dropped as I registered the emerging ships from the depths of the asteroid field. At least 4 cruisers blazing their weapons systems cold, calculated firepower aimed directly at us. They've ambushed us. The reality slammed against a tidal wave of panic, a bitter fire rising within me like molten lava as adrenaline coursed through my veins. Now we're in deep trouble. We need to fall back, Denya replied, fingers dancing frantically over the controls. Let's evade. Split the trajectory. Stay ahead of them, I shouted, fighting against the chaos ripping through my mind. Get us out of here. But as new waves of fire erupted across our shields, the *helix* shuddered while alarms blared. A cacophony of warning calls berating us to retreat, but retreat was a luxury we couldn't afford. Take out their forward guns, then we'll pivot, create a diversion of our own. My heart raced as panic clawed at my mind. Targeting, Denya confirmed, the tension palpable. Hold on, with shaky breaths, the realization struck me. We'd punched a hole into the heart of the consortium, and now we were caught in a web of their retaliation. We were carving our legacy amidst stellar chaos, yet every choice felt inexplicably perilous, teetering on the precipice of survival. The *helix* danced through fire as we released volleys of concentrated shots, striking and retreating, careful not to become an easy target while darting through the shadows. Keep them off balance, I urged, determination eclipsing fear as we barreled into the fray once more. With concentration on their command vessel, Denya called steadily, her voice a pillar of hope amidst ultimatum as the *helix* trembled around us. We surged to regain momentum, our weapons unleashing shots that seared through the distances, desperation driving our every move. You're hitting them, Denya cheered, a spark igniting in the air. We're pushing them back, but as the chaos erupted, I sensed the wave crashing surges catching up with us. With every enemy ship we battered, a bitter reminder of the shadows following haunted our path, teasing us with the prospect of turning success into ruin in the blink of an eye. Do you copy? I called through the comms, heart racing against the edge of fate. We're taking heavy fire and could use support. Hang tight, we're reorienting. Ree's voice burst through, strained but resolute. Just hold on for a moment longer. But even as she spoke, I could feel the grip of impending darkness creeping in, shadows unfurling beneath the chaos. A sudden silence reigniting fright amongst the sounds of battle. Oh no, I shouted as the distortion rippled through the air, casting a gloom over our momentum. Hold steady, they're coming in, Denya shouted, her voice rising above the cacophony echoing around us. Frantically, I pulled the ship away from the chaos, avoiding dangers of fire as the *helix* surged against the tide, aiming to break free, yet uncertainty painted our perspective. The power of their forces surged forward, relentless and unyielding, as red blueprints flickered before us, drawing the figure of defeat as the world around us blurred into chaos. Then it came to light, another ship materializing out of the depths of the asteroid field, emerging from the shadows. "It's the Vanguard," Denya exclaimed, hope flooding her voice. "Ree's crew is here." In the moments that followed, an overwhelming wave of relief cascaded through me as Ree's crew engaged, their ship diving into the fray, disrupting the enemy formations entirely. And now, Ree called through the comms. "Push." We rallied our efforts as firepower surged back into our favor, the tide inevitably shifting. The crescendo of chaos fed our resilience, igniting every heartbeat with determination as we surged through the dense formations of the enemy cruisers. As their defensive lines crumbled under the weight of our concerted efforts, I shouted, "This is our chance. Let's break through." Our cannons erupted in rhythm with our newfound ferocity, blasting through the ranks as we fought with everything we had, our hopes, our fears, and our alliances igniting like a blazing sun against the dark shadows that once overwhelmed us. "Focus on the lead vessel," Denya commanded, the adrenaline driving her every word. "We're breaking through." With renewed focus, we dove into overdrive, unleashing fire as we surged ahead. Blades cutting through the darkness, the *helix* embodied by the energy untold. "Keep moving," I urged, unwavering resolve intertwining with instinct as we sought to carve out our victory, reaching for the shimmering crest lighting our way through the dark turmoil. Through the battle, the shadows began to peel apart, revealing the way forward. All we had fought for clashing against the remnants of darkness, we were determined to extinguish. This was not merely a battle for survival, it was a rebellion born from resilience, where even the darkest corners of space would bleed the light. An untamed fire igniting greatness. We would not falter. We would reclaim our fate, and as we surged through the fray, a whisper soared in unison within our hearts. We were the storm, relentless and alive. At long last, the tide turned. As the last echoes of conflict resounded, a final defeated gasp, emerging from the ranks of the consortium, exuberance burst forth in tumultuous waves. A celebration crushing the weight of despair. "We did it!" Denya laughed, exhilaration surging through her veins as the vast darkness opened before us, transcending the loss and embracing newfound victory. I could hardly breathe, laughter bubbling to the surface as I turned to her. Yes, we carved through their lines, others cheered alongside us, newfound allies drawn together in the aftermath of battle, our shared accomplishments finalizing into memories etched into the very fabric of our beings. Hope flourished where shadows once reigned. Fleet status. Ree's voice broke through the celebration, her natural command anchoring the chatter as she rallied her crew. "We've stabilized control of the area. Supply lines remain in chaos." One of her team members reported, heavy breaths punctuating the triumph. "Most of the consortium fleet is damaged or retreating. They're falling back." I felt exhilaration flood my senses, hope tinged with the weight of what we had overcome. "We need to pursue," I exclaimed, adrenaline surging within me once more. "But this fight isn't over until we dismantle their entire operation." Ree nodded, her face shifting to seriousness as she met my gaze. "You're right. The High Crest won't rest easy after this, but we've gained valuable intel that could lead us right to their command. If we capitalize now, we can push deeper." That burning spirit radiated through the crew, our victories soon translating into tenacity, driving our quest forward. The *helix*, brimming with potential and purpose, offered energy as we readied ourselves for the next chapter. A collective unity rooted in shared beliefs and an unwavering passion for freedom. With renewed resolve, I took a deep breath, igniting my spirit as hope thrummed in my chest, refusing to be extinguished. "All right, team, let's gather the intel and prepare for our next move." We'll show them the fire we carry within our souls, and as the asterisk helix asterisk floated gracefully back to the fray, we knew one thing above all else. We were not merely survivors fighting the current. We were warriors rising against the shadows, crafting our own destinies, fueled by hope, purpose, and an undying drive for freedom in a galaxy once lost. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, the galaxy sparkled outside our viewport as we sailed into the unknown, the stars bearing witness to the unbreakable spirit we carried through the chaos. In that moment, we understood. We were warriors forging paths amidst uncertainty, building not just hopes, but fostering change. This was only the beginning. As I glanced at Denya, our eyes met silent confidence coursing between us. We would fight together, face every menace that emerged from the void, and reclaim the light that sparked within our hearts. The fight against the consortium had only just begun, but one thing was for sure. We would rise together and embrace whatever fate awaited us. And onward we sailed, rewriting destinies against the canvas of the stars. In the aftermath of our triumph over the consortium's supply lines, the asterisk helix asterisk drifted through the stillness of the surrounding void, a sense of potent anticipation weaving through the crew. We were not merely survivors anymore. We were architects of our fate, builders of a rebellion rooted in the embers of amassed struggles. This was our chance to lean into our momentum and catalyze change, a movement that echoed through the galaxy. The warmth of victory hung like a cocoon around us as we convened in the command center of Asterisk, the Vanguard Asterisk, our allied freighter where Ree and her crew had made their camp. Holographic maps flickered in the dim light, revealing the hidden routes within the consortium's territory like veins of opportunity threading through danger. "We've damaged their supply lines significantly," Ree affirmed, her eyes ablaze with renewed purpose. "But we can't afford to give them time to recover. The Highcrest won't let this slide. We need a solid plan to exploit their vulnerabilities," I added, shifting forward to study the glowing schematics. "Well, the intel we've collected from their command ship will open more paths to dismantle their operations. But where do we strike next?" Denya asked, flanking Ree's side. "We can't afford miscalculations after the chances we've taken." "True," Ree acknowledged, steely resolve washing over her features. "This next step has to be decisive. We need to track their resources and technology. If they've built another project similar to Project Pandora, we can put an end to it before it's fully operational." My mind raced, considering the remnants of scattered information that had previously evaded us. "We could target known consortium tech hubs," I suggested, starting with the research station located in the Trinis cluster. If they're reverse, engineering valuable technology, there's no doubt we can find what we need. Ree nodded, her expression turning serious as she glanced between Denya and me. "Yes, but the Trinis cluster is heavily fortified. We'd be walking directly into their lion's den. We have to trust in our alliances," Denya interjected, determination etched into her features. "We've proven we can disrupt their paths when united. It's time we orchestrated a collective strike. We gather every faction that has felt their cruelty and incite them to join our cause." A sense of collective energy surged through the room, sparks of solidarity igniting. "Let's coordinate with the resistance groups we made contact with," I proposed, hoping to crystallize our vision. "If we can gather enough firepower, each individual crew on their respective vessels can flank the station from multiple angles. Matter of creating a three-pronged assault on their defenses." "I'll reach out to my allies," Ree affirmed, steely determination etched into her voice. "We can create a signal that goes beyond borders uniting factions fractured by fear." Asterisk 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 over the next few hours, our efforts intensified, layering plans upon plans as each piece of strategy began to fit into an exhilarating puzzle. The sense of camaraderie enveloped us, bolstered by newfound alliances as we pooled our resources with other factions gathering around the notion of rebellion. As the holographic map pulsated with colorful paths, flickering into life like boiling waters about to overflow, a sense of clarity emerged from the chaos. a chart of our shared destinies unfolding ahead of us. My heart soared with each communication coming through our comms, alliances igniting, ships mobilizing, determination swelling like the tide. By the time we had consolidated our forces, the vanguard thrummed with the energy of our collective hope. Our ships are primed and ready, re-announced, resolve palpable amidst the overwhelming atmosphere of anticipation. We push forward at dawn. Denya and I shared a glance, excitement dazzling in her demeanor. "Look at what we've built," she murmured, pride threading through her words. "We have risen from our shadows, from survivors to warriors." In that moment, we understood the very ground beneath us had transformed from the ashes of despair into a solid foundation of resilience. As dawn broke against the blanket of stars scattered above our heads, brightness filled the cockpit of the helix illuminating our path forward. My heart raced with anticipation pouring through my veins. "This is it," I murmured, the adrenaline and fear entwining within me. "Let's show them what we're made of." Denya caught my gaze, nodding with fiery determination, her laughter like the flicker of flames igniting within. Together. As we prepared to launch, each individual crew member fastened in. The sudden rush of camaraderie filled the air, and enthusiasm danced amongst us. A firestorm ready to erupt. Each connection grew stronger as we boarded our vessels, waiting to intercept the consortium stronghold. We weren't simply making a statement anymore. We were claiming a battleground, etching our legacy into the annals of the cosmos. A signal from Denya called, and I felt the familiar buzz of anticipation prickling against my skin. Initiating sequence. For a heartbeat, the air thickened with meaning, the culmination of each step we had taken swirling in circles around us. Helix you're clear on all channels, Ree's voice echoed through the comms. "Stay strong, we'll rendezvous at Trini's. Push forward for all that we believe in." "Let's do this," I replied, adrenaline surging through me as I flicked the final switches, running through the pre-launch protocols. The Helix surged with power, ready to embark on the brink of destiny. We launched into the expanse, the stars stretching like a tapestry of untold stories, a symphony of energy surging through our vessels. Navigating through the cosmic landscapes, I saw other ships flanking us, gleaming with hope akin to beacons piercing through the darkness. Each vessel bore unique marks of their origins, and as we approached the Trini's cluster, the anticipation electrified the air. I glanced at Denya, our shared conviction amplifying as we dove deeper. In and out as quickly as possible, I instructed, focusing on the displays that showcased the research station's shields. "Our goal is tactical precision." "Understood," she replied, eyes locked onto the console as she monitored our surroundings. Entering the cluster now. The scene shifted before us, the station stretching out against the tapestry of stars, structures vivid against the backdrop of chaos that brewed ahead. Wordlessly, we swept into formation, relying on years of training and intuition. Adrenaline boiled under the surface as we entered the threshold, racing past the sentries positioned outside the station's shields. Alarms echoed into the void. "They've spotted us," Denya shouted, fingers dancing furiously across the controls as we deftly maneuvered, energy shields glowing brightly in response. "Incoming fire," I braced myself, fists clenching as we ducked and weaved against the barrage of colored bolts aimed directly at us. The Helix trembling in defiant rhythm. "Return fire, navigate towards their engineering core," I shouted, our ship bucking against each ensnaring bolt flaring around us. Light crackled, reflecting hearts that beat in synchrony as we unleashed our own shots into the fray, seeking momentum while weaving through the pulsating chaos of energy. We forged forward, targeting defensive assets as the Helix surged toward the heart of the operation. "We're approaching the core," I shouted through the comms, urgency riding my tone. "We need you to set up cover, bring the defenses down. We're behind you, pushing through the shadows," reconfirmed, her words carrying through the tumult surrounding us, a reminder that we were not alone. Asterisk, 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 as the last of the enemy defenses crumbled, our forces broke through the core's threshold, spilling into the heart of the consortium's stronghold. I could feel the energy pulse through our defenses, the weight of determination infusing every action we took. My heart raced as we surged forward. This was our moment to ignite change. We're in. Now's the time to hit hard, Denya called, her voice steady and filled with purpose as we entered the main chamber. Vast room, illuminated from above, materials strewn across the floor as crews urgently moved about, adjusting panels and machinery to hold onto the lingering threads of their operations. I was a whirlwind navigation taking control of each heartbeat as we surged forward. A sudden alarm pierced the air, caution flooding every crevice of energy in me. They're delving deeper. They've activated security systems, Denya warned, fingers racing over the controls, searching for a way to cut through the chaos. We need to breach the command terminal to disable them. Then let's do it, I shouted, adrenaline thickening as I aimed the ship toward an elevated platform housing the main command terminal. It will strike hard. The asterisk helix asterisk shivered as we approached, flames tearing through the air as we leaned into our power, burning through the defenses meant to cage our rebellion. With a final roar, we slashed through the command's core, systems screaming under the duress of our assault. Asterisk, 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 Denya's fingers danced over the controls with determination, pushing every available resource towards the terminal like a harnessed cyclone fueled by tenacity. We're almost there, she called, resolute yet anxious. Prepare for a breach. My heart thundered in unison with the storm swirling around us, instincts rising as I, too, prepared for the incoming fray. Push in, I shouted, leaning closer to the controls, steeling my resolve, ready to embrace what we would face next. The ship rocketed forward, and with one swift motion, we breached the command terminal. The explosion burst forth against the walls, a blast turning the darkened room into light, all while bringing our aspirations into tangible reality. I glimpsed frantic chaos as crews scrambled, but amidst them, our presence transformed, igniting a fire of insurrection beneath the shadows of oppression. The air bristled with might as I addressed the command screens, scanning the feeds in desperate search for any forbidden knowledge. Denya, can we access the data archives? I'm on it, she replied, fingers flicking across numerous displays, navigating the tangle of information that marked the consortium's framework. I could feel the connection anchoring us as the ship's life surged in tandem with our purpose, fueling our resolve. As we initiated the search, information flooded our view holographic displays illuminating the hidden agendas, concentrated files detailing their twisted machinations, images unearthing around us as I glimpsed elements of Project Pandora interwoven into the threads of operation. Hope surged as we chased the fervor of defiance, unearthing truth amidst the venomous plans they etched for dominance. Look, Denya called, her excitement palpable. This archive reveals their future projects, particularly Project Valkyrie, I exclaimed as I was drawn into the schematics. This is their next phase on weaponization. They're aiming to convert enemy vessels into mind-controlled drones. My breath caught in my throat as I processed the implications. If they succeeded, entire galaxies could be lost. We have to release this to the other factions and make it known. We need to collapse their grip, Denya nodded, determination etched in every fiber of her being. I'll download the data now. We'll send an alert to all Allied forces. As she initiated the process, I began to feel the ship tremble under the rising tide of chaos. Denya, they're coming. We need to hurry. We're almost in, she shouted, her focus sharpened to a razor's edge as panic revved through the air, the walls vibrating as enemy alarms shrieked around us. Not just alerts, but an orchestrated force rushed toward us like a tidal wave. Hold steady, I commanded, feelings of urgency coursing through. We have what we need. The tumultuous energy of the situation surged, darkening encroachments pulling apart at the edges of our moment. Denya released a breath that echoed that truth. Data finalizing now. Let's get out of here. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. As the last fragments of data streamed into the systems, I could feel the air grow heavier, the storm breaching upon us before we'd had the chance to catch our breath. "We're powered up. Let's go," I shouted, eyes darting toward the predicted paths of enemy forces swarming toward us. "A time to revive what we carry within. Let's launch." We gripped control of the *helix*, and as Denya activated our thrusters, we blasted away, spiraling into the chaos beyond the chamber. The ship shook violently as enemy artillery lashed back against our elation, and the shadows of our instincts pushed us deeper into the fray. No, keep focused," I shouted as we twisted through debris, navigating towards the exit of the crowded chaos beyond the command center, views blurring around us as confusion erupted once more. "Let's play them against each other," Denya called, face glowing with excitement and panic in tandem. Cut through their firing lines, as we arced, expertly dodging coral of incoming fire, I could feel the kaleidoscope of emotions swirling through me. Fear wrestled against hope, and amidst the weight of possibility, the thrill of adventure ignited. With every lurch, my soul clawed for survival, entwining with Denya's spirit, pushing forward to seize destiny. To the left, push through. I vaulted toward the depths of possibilities as we burst forth. The *helix* avatar of resilience spiraling into the open void. Alarms erupted still, echoing warnings that urged us faster amid the chaos from the rear. But victory was within our grasp. The light of hope sparkled beyond. "Hold on," I shouted, focusing on our path ahead, the expanse before us widening as we spun toward freedom. A sense of clarity unfurled as we navigated through the darkness. The *helix* propelled into the cosmos, each pulse promising liberation from the bonds of tyranny. We made it," Denya exclaimed as we rocketed out of the shadows of enemy fire. The sudden burst of stars greeted us, sparkling amidst the vastness that encapsulated worlds beyond our reach. As the adrenaline started to ebb, I allowed myself to breathe deeply, engaging our next maneuvers heading toward the rendezvous. The *helix* sang with life, returning to a familiar rhythm as the galaxy pulled us back toward unity. My heart soared, relief mixing with the elegance of uncertainty that shimmered with each passing moment. "And we live to fight another day," Denya said, a triumphant grin lighting her expression. "This is only the beginning, isn't it?" "Yes," I replied intently, echoes of determination straightening my posture. "We'll take this knowledge and make sure it gets into the right hands." As we made our way back to the rendezvous point, I felt vibrating potential ripple through. There was no doubt. The galaxy was awakening, and so were we. With the promise of our next steps beckoning, we would seize the advantage. The consortium had been pushed to the brink, and we would launch into the storm, striving toward a brighter future. Together, we would reclaim our destinies, one pulse of rebellion against the shadows at a time. In that moment, we were not alone in the void. We bore witness to the power that surged between us, an unbreakable bond that would forever inspire the fight ahead. As the *helix* sailed toward the rendezvous, I felt a shift weaving through my thoughts. We were becoming part of the larger tapestry of rebellion that was transforming the stars' every interaction, every connection, reinforcing our fight against the oppression that had stifled our existence for far too long. Uncertainty may still lurked, yet I could feel a vigorous fire igniting in my chest, one that refused to flicker out. Do you copy?" I called out over the comms, anticipation swirling within us as we approached the gathered resistance outside Leona's maw. "We read you," Ree greeted, her voice infused with excitement. "We've been waiting for confirmation on your success." "We have crucial intel on Project Valkyrie," I replied, adrenaline thrumming in my veins. "We can expose their plans and leverage all factions against them." The hope surged through me, intertwining our gathering as shades of enthusiasm raced across the comms. With renewed determination, I glanced at Denya, whose eyes sparkled with understanding and excitement. We had crafted change, opened pathways that threatened the established order, and ignited our combined fury against the shadows. Asterisk, 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 all forces, prepare for debrief. Re-commanded, bringing everyone together as inquiries burst forth in the room, swirling like whispers underlaying in desire. Hope danced in the air. We sought to seize the moment from the horizon. I stepped forward, heart thudding with anticipatory energy as I shared details of the operation and the threads we had uncovered, weaving intricate connections that resonated through our alliance. If we mount a precise counter-offensive, we can dismantle their entire operation. I finished with a fierce resolve. Together, we can drive change that echoes long beyond this moment. As I looked around at the faces in the room, determination etched into their features, I felt the power of our unity pulse. Now is the time for us to break free and reclaim our destinies. Cheers erupted, camaraderie igniting once more as we pooled our resources and fashioned plans, alliances lighting pathways as we delved deeper into the heart of combat. The time was ours, and each moment stretched into the promise of something more, a redefining of our fate that surged through the cosmos. As we clasped hands, eyes bright with ambition and courage, laughter enveloped the tension in our souls. Together, we would embrace every pain, every fear, and every flicker of hope as we carved out our rebellion against the darkness. We were warriors anchored in unyielding truth, a collective force swinging wildly against fate, at the forefront of change as we sailed toward the next chapter of our astounding journey. Asterisk, 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 the whispered echoes of a world once hidden awoken into the folds of our rebellion, a definitive call to arms resounding through the cosmos. What once felt unattainable dimmed before us a path inviting exploration from shadows to light, the ever-beckoning embrace of an uprising. With deep breaths, we focused and prepared for the chapters that awaited, binding us in armies of resistance against the darkness hanging menacingly in the depths. Together with Denya, with Re and all gathered forces pulling toward harmony, we would fight against our common enemy, creating a legacy that would sing through the stars for generations to come. The echoes of victory merged with the hum of our destined paths, ready to seize every breath and pulse, embarking on a quest still unwritten in the grand narrative of time, a legacy defined by hope, resilience, and the struggle for liberation shared across the cosmos. And so we began, willing to face every storm swirling around us and rising together. The fight for our freedom had ignited. Together we would conquer, and together we would create a new dawn. The asterisk helix asterisk drifted through the vastness of space, its hull battered but not broken, a testament to the fierce battles we had endured. The station Leona's Maw glimmered in the distance, bathed in the twilight glow of distant stars. Denya and I stood at the observation window, the weight of anticipation settling around us like an electric blanket. Every decision led to this moment, a culmination of our struggles to dismantle the consortium's oppressive grip. "Are you ready?" Denya's voice broke the silence, and I turned to her, the quiet resolve in her eyes echoing my own burgeoning courage. "As ready as I'll ever be," I replied, the truth flickering softly in my chest. The stakes were monumental, and our mission loomed before us like a giant monolith. Project Valkyrie must be dismantled. As the adrenaline surged through us, we joined Re and the assembled commanders of our alliance in the command center of the asterisk Vanguard asterisk. The maps displaying the research stations lay, outpulsed softly against the dim light, a holographic guide through the intricate corridors of the consortium's stronghold. "Here's the plan," Re articulated, her voice steady and strong. "We need to infiltrate the station, locate the control center, and neutralize Project Valkyrie before it can be activated. This will require precision. If we can strike swiftly, we can cripple their operations for good. Once we secure the data, we'll need to disseminate it quickly to our allied factions to fuel our momentum," I added. "There's no room for error. We do this together, and we get everyone out safely." The room hummed with agreement, and as we finalized the plan, I could feel the sharp edge of our determination slicing through the tension. This wasn't the end, it was a rebirth, a phoenix rising from the ashes. "All right, let's move out," Ree commanded, and as the ship rumbled beneath our feet, I felt the anticipation swelling, mixing into a kaleidoscope of urgency and hope. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, the asterisk helix asterisk broke through the shadows of the station, docking smoothly against the reinforced exterior of the consortium's stronghold. We had split into teams. Denya and I would lead the infiltration into the heart of Project Valkyrie, while Ree's crew provided distractions from the outside. Our plan involved diverting as much attention from our entrance as possible. Taking a deep breath, I adjusted my gear, the weight of my blaster firmly strapped to my side. "Ready, partner?" I asked Denya, forcing the nervous energy from my voice. "Well, always," she replied, her fierce spirit igniting a flame of courage within me. As we stepped into the station's cold corridors, the lights flickered with an artificial sterility, highlighting the path ahead. Alarms blared sporadically, indicating that our forces outside were already engaging consortium troops, igniting echoes of chaos in the distance. "Stay sharp," I warned as we advanced through the winding passages. "They'll be looking for us." Denya nodded as we moved swiftly, keeping to the shadows. We cornered a few soldiers and dispatched them quietly, each strike reaffirming our resolve. The atmosphere thickened with purpose, the echoes of our hearts reverberating through the cold metal walls. Asterisk asterisk asterisk, after navigating a series of checkpoints and tight corridors, we finally arrived at the command center where Project Valkyrie was housed. A massive bay opened before us, filled with humming machinery and systems whirring quietly in anticipation. "There it is," Denya breathed, her eyes lighting up as she spotted the central terminal, surrounded by a spherical barrier glowing ominously, the control for Project Valkyrie. "Let's get in there," I urged, feeling time slipping away. The alarms still echoed loudly, and we could hear the distant sounds of battle intensifying, the chaos swirling as our time dwindled. As we approached, a shadow fell over the control panel, revealing a lone guard stationed at the terminal. "Stop right there," he barked, raising his weapon, but before he could pull the trigger, we lunged forward. In a heartbeat, we incapacitated him, adrenaline surging as I pressed my back against the terminal, scanning the information available on the screens. Denya was already accessing the systems, hacking into the encrypted files that contained the heart of their twisted plans. "Creating access now," she murmured, fingers dancing across the controls like a maestro commanding an orchestra. Streams of data began to pour through the screens, revealing graphs and logistical details about Project Valkyrie. The inhumanity laced in their ambitions. My heart sank as I read the statistics, numbers crunching against our hopes engineered ship's mind, controlled constructs, and a timeline for activation looming dangerously close. "We need to shut this down before it can go live," I urged. "How much time do we have?" "Not long," Denya responded, concentration etched on her face as she pulled more data into view. Outside, the echoes of battle shifted, bringing the grim reality to the forefront as the consortium forces began to bear down on us. "Denya, we have to hurry," I insisted, urgency flooding my voice. "I'm almost through," she replied, and as the countdown ticked aggressively in my mind, a jolt of realization hit me. The firing systems were being prepared to activate Project Valkyrie. "The countdown is on. Denya, initiate the shutdown protocol," I urged, my heart racing in synchrony with the digital clock projected on the terminal, each number flickering like a warning sign. "I'm trying," she shouted in frustration, fingers flying faster over the controls. "I just need asterisk asterisk asterisk." But then the lights suddenly dimmed, the terminal flickering frantically as enemy forces streamed into the command center. We were outnumbered and confronted with a shadow looming over us. "Get down," I yelled, pulling Denya low as blaster fire erupted overhead, piercing the walls around us. With instincts fueled by desperation, I whipped out my blaster and returned fire. The accessing shut down now, Denya shouted, and I felt a surge of hope spark within me as I focused on the encroaching enemy, drawing fire away from the terminal, determined to keep us alive long enough for her to disable the system. Almost there, Edenya called, and my breath caught as another round of blaster fire skimmed past us. I could read the urgency pulsing through her as she fought against the rapid encroachment. The room shook as explosions echoed in the background, our allies engaging in the fray, pouring their hearts into battle. But we couldn't be idle, our focus had to be here. Focus, Denya, just a little longer. I pressed, my heart racing as I took down another guard closing in on us. Done, she exclaimed with force, and I felt the world hinge on the exhilaration that rushed through me. The countdown halted in its tracks, leaving echoes of relief swirling above us. The countdown has ceased, she said breathlessly, triumphant determination lining her words. Relief spilled through the tension, but as we rallied in victorious cries, a deeper shadow loomed. The station still held dangers, and their forces intensified. Asterisk, 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 and now, let's clear some space, I called, adrenaline seizing my limbs as we adjusted to our reality, hearts sinking in determination and fear. Alarms still blared, cacophonous bursts of panic circled around us as we pressed forward, rushing to find safe passage from the oncoming horde. They'll be coming for us, I shouted as we maneuvered through the room, rushing toward a side exit, evading the surging waves of enemy troops clamoring against our momentum. We'll never make it if we don't move, Denya urged, and as we barreled towards the emergency exit, a sudden explosion rocked the room. Pieces of the station structure crashed down around us. Move, I shouted, urgency braided with hope as I pulled Denya through the veil of chaos. The very walls felt like they were collapsing beneath the weight of the skirmish above us. Refusing to yield, we fought our way toward the exit, weaving through fire and rubble, the shadows of our past mingling with the flickering possibilities ahead. With each breath, we fueled our tenacity, a riptide carrying us toward survival, and we expanded into the light. Almost there, Denya called, and as we reached the threshold, I could see the ghosts of freedom beckoning on the horizon. Die-hard resistance emerged and fought valiantly against the tide of freedom, swarming beyond the remnants of our unity. Forged through battle shone brightly amid the tumult of ruthless desire. Asterisk, 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 just as we breached the exit, the world around us erupted against the weight of despair. Our allies were breaking through, reclaiming power amidst the chaos. Outside, we just need to make it to our ship, I shouted, desperation pushing me forward as we raced toward the docking bay. But before we could reach the ships, blaster fire rang out. The shadows of betrayal encroached from every corner. The looming threat pressed down on us, and I could feel the fragments of reality colliding against hope. Edenya, I yelled, pushing through the labyrinth of fire, and as I caught her eye, determination electrified the tension gathering in my heart. I see it, she exclaimed, our path becoming clear as we coordinated our movements, tears of pain mingling with tenacity. With a fierce cry, we rallied the followers of darkness closing in. But before despair could engulf us, Ree's voice surged through the comms. Oh, we're on our way. Hold the line. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Suddenly, amidst the chaos, an explosion ripped through the docking bay, casting debris through the air and sending consortium troops scurrying. Now, I ordered, adrenaline racing in my veins as we charged forward, our energy igniting with the fervor of unity. Ree's team materialized from the shadows, their ship diving into the fray as they gained ground. We're here, on your left, she directed, shouldering the enemy's fire as they bore down on us. Denya, let's go, I shouted. As we plunged into the chaos surrounding the docking bay, I could feel the ghost of fear retreating as the warmth of fearlessness wrapped around us. Our allies fought fiercely, returning fire while signaling for cover as we surged through the wreckage, adrenaline propelling us onward. Together, we would break free. The shadows of uncertainty faded, and we propelled towards our ship with fierce tenacity. Get us on board, I urged, and together we sprinted to the hatch of the Helix *, desperate for safety. Almost there, Edenia panted hyper, focused as she activated the sprint feature, propelling us into the ship's interior where chaos met determination, a whirlwind of life returning after devastation. And as we burst onto the cockpit, Ree's team provided cover, a right marker illuminating our hearts as the fierce brotherhood enveloped us. Powering up, I called, hands racing across the controls, igniting the systems. Get ready for takeoff! *****, as the surrounding chaos shattered in the depths of flames, we felt the pulse of each heartbeat ascend into the vein of rebellion. Our ships shaped the tempest as we broke free from the crumbling station. The sky filled with light, the bittersweet taste of victory blooming through despair. Watch your six. Ree's voice surged through the comms. We'll cover your exit. With our allied forces rallying behind us, we launched the Helix * into a rhythm, blasting out of the docking bay as explosions engulfed the station, illuminating the darkness behind us. Forward, I called, gripping the controls with fierce determination as the ship surged ahead. To the rendezvous point, around us, chaos erupted, a blooming explosion shifting in the distance, a vivid representation of our rebellion as we carved deeper into the promise of freedom. The flames ignited our legacy. Our rebellion awakened a desperate dance with the cosmos transforming against all odds. ****, as we soared away from the remnants of the old, I allowed myself to breathe deeply, relief saturating the air within us. Denya caught my gaze as we climbed through the remnants of our battle, pride shimmering brightly in her eyes, igniting the certainty that we would not succumb. We did it, she said softly. Yes, we did, I replied, determination kindling into something magnificent, knowing we would reclaim our destinies, shattering the darkness threatening to engulf us. As we regrouped with allies at Leona's Maw, the power of our unity surged through every fiber of my being. The knowledge that we had disrupted their plans, foiled their ambitions, and awakened hearts and minds to a future rewritten. We will rise above this tyranny, re-announced to the gathered teams as we assembled, hearts echoing in rhythm with the fight that had bound us together. Together, we will find a way to liberate the galaxy. The promise held within those words thrummed within my chest, hope embracing every defeat as we rallied our spirits. Each dwindling breath brought us closer to the echoes of a new dawn, and as one, we would rise from the thick veil of shadows that lingered. Our tales, woven into the stars, would not only speak of our struggles, but of our transformation. A legacy rising from the ashes, sparking inspiration back into existence. And so, hand in hand, we would ignite the galaxies anew, and amidst the vast tapestry, we would reclaim our destinies, shining brightly against the infinite night. Together, we were alive, heroes of our own story, rewriting the stars as they beckoned into the profound horizon of possibility, yet still unwritten.